On the one hand, I am absolutely astonished that this is still happening. I'm also astonished that it ever happened in the first place. But I guess on the other hand, it's been happening forever. It's just not it wasn't very out there in the news. I've had all kinds of viewers tell me, "Oh yeah, back 30, 40 years ago when I was in school, these female teachers, they were you know, trying to get with their students, the old Mrs. Robinson kind of thing, right? But it was always the male teachers that had the spotlight on them. So I guess it's always been going on. It likely will always continue to go on. So all I can do, I guess, is just report it. But surprised, nevertheless. We have two stories today. It's a twofer. Female teacher, 23 years old, is stone faced in her mugshot after having sex with an underage student. I just how many times have I made this video before? I'm always flabbergasted, shocked at it. Florida school teacher has been suspended from her post pending a police investigation after allegations of sexual offenses involving her and a student. Genesis Zayas, 23, is accused of engaging in sexual misconduct with a student of Island Coast High School in Cape Coral, Florida. Zayas was arrested on Tuesday on two counts of sexual offenses engaging in lewd conduct with a student. The Lee County School District has since confirmed that she was suspended from her role as instructional support at the school. So was she's like a like a TA, a teacher's assistant. Maybe she is an EA, an educational assistant. They usually work with disabled children. Or maybe oh I don't know. She was booked on Tuesday and her bond was set at $50,000 Wednesday morning after her first court appearance. After paying the bond, she was released. So, in a statement, the school says all of the things that the schools always say. I haven't even read this. Let me take a guess. Something about how what do they say? That they take the matter seriously. That the health and safety, well being of all students are really important, and blah 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 blah. That kind of thing, right? Let's see if I'm anywhere near correct. In the statement, the school said the school district does not tolerate the alleged behavior. The employee has been suspended pending the outcome of an investigation. Upon its conclusion, appropriate actions will be taken. All right, that's a little more direct than what most of them are. So, Wink News also obtained an email from the school district that they just distributed to local parents. In it, they said you are receiving this important message in compliance with Florida statutes. Big number. Parental notification of arrest of employees. I must inform you that Miss Genesis Zayas, instructional support, Island Coast High School, was arrested on February 4th, 2025. The following. Please know that the school district of Lee County and law enforcement will handle this matter appropriately. It comes after a New Jersey elementary school teacher was accused of sexually assaulting one of her students for years and having his child. Yes, that was a thing that I covered in another video. So watch that video as well because this doesn't this doesn't stop, it seems. The abuse that young boys go through is I guess forever. It's eternal. It's a thing that always happens. Yeah. This story about the teacher having an 11-year-old baby is a very weird story. Um it makes very little sense to me because for some reason the kids ended up living at the teacher's house. Like the teacher convinced the kids to live there, and the mom and the dad were like, "Oh yeah, it's fine." Like, what? Where were them? Why? Like, there's so many questions that go unanswered. It makes no sense. I'll have to dig into like the court reports for that or whatever. But carrying on to the next story here. California Teacher of the Year sobs as she admits to abusing two students ages 11 and 12. Now, when I first looked at this, I was like, "Oh, abusing? What kind of abusing? Was she smacking them around a little bit and hitting them with the yardstick?" No. No, sexual abuse because obviously. So an award-winning California teacher broke down in tears in court as she confessed to sexually abusing two of her students ages 11 and 12. These kids that are abused just keep getting younger and younger. Like, it's insane. Having 11-year-olds babies, sexually abusing 11 and 12-year-olds, like, I mean, like, holy cow. Like, what is it? What is it about an 11-year-old that a woman looks at and go, "Oh my god, that is worth throwing my entire life away for, throwing my entire career away for, going to jail possibly forever," as we'll find out with this woman. Like, why? It's not it's not like an 11-year-old is going to be a good lover. He's not skilled. He's not gonna be some Casanova that's gonna woo you off your feet and love you like you've never been loved before. It's a child. It's someone who's interested in Roblox and I don't know what else are kids interested in. My kids are just like Roblox and Pokemon, maybe. Like, so Jacqueline Ma, who was named Teacher of the Year in San Diego County just months before her arrest, was facing a staggering 180 years behind bars for the shocking abuse at Lincoln Acres Elementary School in National City. The things about this that I find striking is that this woman is Teacher of the Year. Obviously, the woman that you want instructing your kids because she is such a good educator. But then the whole Mr. Hyde of it comes out and it's like, "Oh yeah, she's raping kids." Like that's a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde if there's ever been one. Teacher of the year, yes, best educator. Get your kids in front of her because she's gonna fill their brains with knowledge. And then Mr. Hyde, boom, raping. Second thing that gets my attention, she's facing 180 years. Normally, these rapes of students, they're like, "Okay, get ready. You're in a lot of trouble, Missy. You're banging a kid. Give me that wrist. I'm gonna smack it." Normally, that's how that goes. It's like, "Oh, teacher gets a year for raping a kid. Teacher gets 2 years for raping a kid." Sometimes it's wild and it's like 10 years. Now, this woman's 180 years. she was facing. That 180 years gets knocked down, or it did get knocked down Wednesday when she admitted to the lewd acts with her students as part of a plea deal that could see her sentenced to 30 years to life. So she pled guilty to raping these students. And so as a result, they're like, we'll give you 30 to life instead of 180 years. Well, maybe she still has a chance to see daylight in 30 years. Who knows? Which would be, kind of crazy if she pled guilty. She still gets life. She never gets out. I mean, there's no difference if she got 180 years. Anyways, carrying on. Guilty, Ma told the judge through sobs, a video from Fox 5 San Diego shows. Ma also pleaded guilty to a count of possessing material containing a minor engaged in or simulating sexual conduct, for sending photos, for sending the boys X-rated images and begging them to send her photos of them engaged in sex acts. So this woman would send, sexy pictures and other content, and then would like demand them send it back to her. That's crazy to me. But it gets crazier. This was very significant to us, not just because she won an award, but because of who she was in the community. Deputy District Attorney Drew Hart told Fox San Diego. They're like, this is serious to us, not just because, she's some good teacher, but because she was the good teacher in the community and everyone was like, "Oh, that's the best teacher. Everyone be like her." So they're mad about it. It almost makes them look foolish. We think this plea deal sends a message to the community, not just about sex offenses on children, but when you leverage a position of trust, when you leverage good faith with parents in the community, and you do this to their children, there will be significant penalties to pay. It's almost like he's suggesting that being a teacher and raping your students is bad. I didn't think we would need a statement like this to figure that out. Ma, who taught 5th and 6th graders, was arrested on her school's campus in the spring of 2023 after the mother of the 12-year-old boy contacted the police. She found the trusted teacher had groomed the boy over 10 months, sharing love letters and explicit texts. She would send him racy photographs and then asked him to take and send videos of himself engaging in sex acts, and grew frustrated when he didn't respond. So this little boy is getting text messages from this woman being like, "Listen, I want you to jerk your dick." And he's like, "What why? I why don't I just ignore this message? Like, I want you to jerk your dick right now." Like, I'm just maybe gonna not respond to this. I don't want to jerk my dick right now on camera. And then she gets mad. Like, "Why aren't you doing it? I asked you to do it." In one message, the child reminded his teacher, and this statement is crazy to me. "Sometimes I think you don't understand that I'm a kid still." That kid knows what's going on. And if that teacher didn't read that message and reality come flushing back to her, like, I mean, it's one thing, and of course, not excusing any of this behavior because it's absolutely reprehensible. But it's one thing to get carried away with something. You sort of lose track of where reality is and you get carried away. But then something like this should be, you know, shot of cold water in the face where reality comes flooding back, where she reads, "Sometimes I think you don't understand that I'm a kid still." And she should be like, "Oh my, oh my, oh my, what the fuck am I doing? This kid's 11 or 12." To which she should have then been like, "I am correct," or "You are correct, rather. I am so sorry. Please delete everything. Have a nice day." And then cut that right off. Maybe resign your position and move to the other side of the country or something. Like, why didn't reality sink in at that moment? In one instance, she took off her shirt after asking the 12-year-old victim for a private meeting in her classroom, according to Fox 5 San Diego. Now, also, some of you out there might be like, "I wish my teacher took off her top." I'm sure you do. I'm sure you had lovely teachers. They probably had a nice rack of lamb. I get that. But, you're looking back at that moment or at that scenario as a horny grown up man. And a lot of these kids report actually being really messed up from this kind of stuff. Like, it haunts them, it screws them up. There is that story about the Minnesota mom who had a staycation in a hotel, and she was trying to have sex with two boys in their hotel room, two hockey players. Those boys reported being really messed up. Like, they need like therapy. That's a common thing. Like, it's not just like a hot and steamy sex session or whatever. Although sometimes it is that. A lot of these kids genuinely are traumatized. Prosecutor said Ma had another relationship with a current student at the time, an 11-year-old boy, and exchanged sexually charged messages with him. A picture of one of the victims was discovered in her wallet after her arrest. At the conclusion of a preliminary hearing in 2023, Superior Court Judge Marianne Dadizo said she thought the evidence was overwhelmingly clear that the defendant took advantage of two children. From our office's perspective, it was very important that these be charged as not just sex offenses, but sex offenses done under duress. And that's what she's pled to, Hart said Wednesday. Ma will be sentenced May 9th. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's so crazy that it's still happening, and I know it always will. I don't understand why some people are just so, I don't know, keen, so enthusiastic to take advantage of young children. I mean, it's supposed to be, it's a parent's job to shepherd your children safely into adulthood, leaving them well-rounded human beings. And we expect that exact same thing from the educators that we entrust them to. So to be an entrusted educator and go, "Oh yeah, little child." It's crazy to me. I don't know, like, I don't know what we do to fix this. Public hangings, executions, like, who knows? Like, how crazy and extreme do we have to go before somebody decides, "Hey, you know what? Maybe raping that kid is off the menu." I don't know. I just it's crazy to me. It's insane. Anyways, I love you all. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye for now.